My name is Gavin Henning, Professor of Higher Education at New England College, and I direct our Doctorate of Education programs. I want to provide a quick overview of the three doctoral programs we have here at New England College. Across all three of our programs, our ultimate goal is to prepare leaders to improve the educational systems in which they work, with the end goal of supporting student learning and success. And so we try to approach that a little bit differently with each of our programs. As I mentioned, we have three programs. We have one in K-12 leadership, one in higher education administration, and then one in educational leadership. The K-12 leadership and higher education administration programs are low residency hybrid programs, and our educational leadership program is a 100% online program. I'd like to talk a little bit about some of the distinguishing features of our programs. First of all, our programs are accelerated. They can be completed in 3 years rather than the typical 5 to 7 years. They're cohort-based, so students take all courses together, and so during which they create some strong relationships. And actually, many students have developed lifelong friendships because of the cohort model. Our faculty are experts in their field, and they're very flexible. We understand that students are working full-time, many of whom have families, outside commitments, and they're juggling this along with coursework. And so we try to be flexible with deadlines and assignments and really try to make the program usable or doable for students who are working full-time. The dissertation begins in the very first course. Students begin talking about their dissertation topic. They begin exploring some of the literature around that, and we scaffold the entire dissertation both within the curriculum and in the individual courses. So there are courses set aside specifically to work on this dissertation, be it the literature review, pulling the entire dissertation proposal together and getting it approved, doing their analysis, drafting chapters 4 and 5, and then pulling the entire dissertation together for approval at the end of the program. But we also have assignments in other courses that help students build the literature for the literature review, explore their topic from different methodological perspectives. And so really we want students to be able to double dip in current courses to work on their dissertation. And so we don't really see these as separate activities, the coursework separate from the dissertation. We really try to bring those all together. Our program is 60 credits, but as I mentioned, it can be completed over 3 years. And we do this by taking a 15-week semester and condensing into 7. So the same amount of content that would be covered in 15 weeks is covered in 7. And the other way we can do this in 3 years, as I mentioned earlier, is scaffolding the dissertation process throughout the curriculum and the coursework. We have 4 program pillars, so all of the courses revolve around one or more of these pillars. They include equity, educational leadership, organizational theory, pedagogical theory, and research skills. So as I mentioned, the courses address one or more of these topics from different perspectives. All 3 programs have 3 major milestones, and they actually correspond to each year in the program. The dissertation proposal is completed at the end of the first year. The comprehensive project, which is in place of a comprehensive exam, is completed at the end of the second year, and the dissertation is completed at the end of the third year. Now, of course, some work may be done on each of those during each of those years, but really the milestone is the completion of each of those years. As I mentioned, we scaffold the dissertation process throughout the curriculum, either through coursework or through the actual curriculum. And I think this really makes our program a little bit different than others and really supports students as they go along. Because again, beginning to work on the dissertation in the very first course is exciting. And we really try to tailor the assignments in the courses so students can hone down their topic into a specific research question. And what we find by the time the students complete the quantitative methods course, which is the 4th course in the program, they have a solid research question to move forward with. And so we really try to intentionally design the program to move students through the dissertation process towards successful completion of the program. The research topics for these dissertations are really broad and wide. They really depend on the interests of students. Many students are addressing issues either in their classroom or in their college or university or where they work. And as long as it's related to education in some way, we're supportive of it. We've actually had topics related to Baptist seminary and retention rates, about supporting students in nursing programs, because they're all related to education. Other topics include bilingual immersion and student achievement, the teaching of grit, self-regulation, impact of LGBTQ centers on personal validation of college students, mindfulness and student affairs practice, and a whole host of others. So if there's any topic that you're interested in, we'll be supportive of that, as long as it's related to education in some way. All three programs have the supportive cohort model. So students come in, they take the exact same classes along the way, rather than having students choose different courses at some different points in time. And students really develop these strong relationships. For the K-12 leadership and higher education administration program, a lot of the connection happens through the residencies, which I'll talk a little bit about in a moment. But even for our online students, they connect via Zoom. Sometimes there'll be synchronous meetings through courses where students actually connect and can see each other and talk to each other, not just writing back and forth to each other as they might through discussion posts. Our faculty are experts in the field, and many of which are still working in the field. There are 2 full-time faculty members teaching in the programs, but the rest are doing this work right now or have recently retired. And that's intentional, that's by design, because we want folks who are currently in the field who can really bring those current real world issues into the classroom and work with students through those different problems. Let me talk a little bit about the hybrid structure and format. So we have collaborative residency. So there's 1 week residency in usually the first week of August where students will come to campus. And then there are weekend residencies. Those happen twice per 7-week term, at the end of the first week and at the end of the 6th week. Those residencies run from 4 p.m. on Friday until 8 p.m. and then from 8 a.m. on Saturday until about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Meals are included. And for the most part, these are interactive residencies. Students are actually doing different things, either in activities that we do outside, small group conversations, or through drawing and other ways of learning. And so there's very little lecture at all. It's really about application of course materials. Let me talk a little bit about the online structure. So one key element of this is equity. So while all 3 programs focus on equity, the inclusion and integration of equity into every single course was intentionally built into our online program. And so each course was designed centering equity. All the courses are 100% online, although many students requested synchronous meetings throughout courses. So they wanted to connect in real time. So often faculty will schedule some synchronous meeting time around student schedules, and they'll replace a discussion post or provide an opportunity for Q&A or just connection and cohort building through those optional synchronous meetings. But it's really driven by students and what their needs are. And we have the on-campus week-long residency in August for the hybrid students, but we provide a virtual summer residency during that same week for the online students. And really we provide a lot of the workshops hybrid-wise in a hybrid format, so students either online can attend those online or students who are on campus can do that. We certainly invite any and all online students who want to come to campus to participate in the on-campus residency, but we also realize that students are not necessarily able to do that, so we do provide that virtual option. Another thing that we're really proud of, and I think sets us apart from other programs, is our New England College Journal of Applied Educational Research. This was started for the doctoral program to provide opportunities for students to really share and present their research in a journal format. So many students will actually condense their research, their dissertation research, or perhaps even their comprehensive project work, and write it up for the journal. But also students may include papers they've written as related to research, or maybe perhaps a lit review or a summary of existing research. So there's a lot of different opportunities for students to actually publish their work that they do in the program in this journal. And then finally, we're very proud about our graduation rates. 82% of our students finish their coursework, and 57% of our students finish the program in 3 years. And as you can see on the slide, that graduation rate increases over time. And we're proud of this because the average graduation rate for social science graduate doctoral programs is 49% over 10 years. And so we're much higher than that. And we believe that it's because of the cohort model, the scaffolded dissertation process, and the really responsive, accessible faculty is really what helps students get through in that 3-year period. But as you can see, some students take a little bit longer. Life happens, things pop up. Sometimes students have some challenges gathering their data. But we work with students to complete the program beyond that 3-year period that we hope that they'll complete it in. Our ultimate goal is your success. If we admit you into our program, we are committed to helping you succeed in any way we can support your work. As long as students are committed as well and do the work along the way. And so we want you to be able to walk across that stage at the end of the program with a big smile on your face as you receive your doctoral hood from your academic advisor, and then go on to do some great things beyond that, improving the educational systems that you work in. If you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at my email address, ghenning@nec.edu, or feel free to call or text 603-918-6998. I'd be happy to answer any questions and provide further information about any of our doctoral programs. I hope this overview has been helpful, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions at all. Take care.